Here, the reason why they call me DriverLadyPro is because I drive like a boss, but I try to stay classy like a lady. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about none other than what all the rideshare drivers are talking about, Tryp. So I have been doing some studying, and I'm going to talk about it, what I have learned about Tryp. Now, of course, if you are a rideshare driver and you are on social media, a lot of times you may already even know quite a bit as it is about the company, because people are constantly messaging me day and night about the company, telling me, oh, you need to check out this Tryp. And I have all told everybody, I'm not gonna be talking, I've told them, like, look, hi, paid to drive, Pete in the house, check out Paid to Drive's channel. So anyway, this Tryp is a new ride sharing company, and it is my understanding, just from what I have been reading from this particular company, that they're going to be using multi-level marketing. And I think part of the reason why they are using multi-level marketing is because they don't have a lot of money like Uber and Lyft to get started. So they're trying to make a go of it with a little bit of money. So what they're doing is they are asking people, if they want to sign up as influencers, they can sign up as influencers and they can get money for referring people. Of course, that's the way pyramid, multi-level types companies work. So if you guys remember Cutco, now Cutco is like a, and I still do see advertisements for Cutco, and I times where the company that was advertising didn't produce anything. Okay, so it has been where multi-level companies have multi-level marketing companies have not worked. But in the same sense, you know, Shackley, Amway, there are companies that are in the industry. But the problem with multi-level marketing companies is that they promise you the world, okay? And they promise you the world because they want to get you to invest in them. And so this is why it seems like it is a scam, and a lot of people think it's a scam. Now, I am not saying it's not a scam. What I am saying is we will truly find out if it is a scam when the company actually does launch. Right now, they're trying to get everybody excited and get everybody in on becoming an influencer, in order to get something going. They don't have an app. They're telling everybody to, guys, can you see me real well? Maybe let's do this. Here. So they're trying to tell everybody, okay, get in on this. And of course, everybody is saying, oh, it's a scam. Now, there are companies that do well, just as there are regular companies that don't do well doing the multi-level, or regular business companies will go into business and they have money to actually do it and they have investors. But there are companies such as Uber, they have tons of money to do it. And then there are people that just have really great ideas, and they basically sell you on the idea. And once they get enough money and they get everything in place, then it's like you're buying stock in a company before they have even started. Now, the good thing about this company is they met with quite a few Uber tubers, and top results. Doggone it. And and these Uber tubers basically wanted to know, how are we going to avoid like things that Uber is doing, such as deactivations, etc. And the way they're going to try and work it is, they said, if you get a lot of complaints from customers, of course, they're going to have to get rid of you. But they are going to have a phone support, a live phone support, so that they can try and help you out. The only problem is there's not going to be, like Uber has, an Uber hub. There's not going to be a hub, an on-land hub. That costs a lot of money for them to run. And of course, right now, they don't have tons of money. So what they're doing is they're trying to get people to sign up for this to get it going. Now, let me look at the comments in the... So anyway, so it is important to note this. So it is important to note this. So it is important to note this. There we go. It is important to note that this is not a company yet. They're getting everybody excited, and they're getting everybody on board. And the people that are getting on board now, well, of course, the more people that get on board now, the better. And that's the way multi-level marketing companies work. And I have listened in on their webinars. I have done some research on on the company Tryp, and so far, what I've seen, it sounds like a good idea, of course, but is yet to be seen. So let me talk about what they are coming off with. They are doing something more in the style of Juno. If some of you guys remember, Juno was a pretty good company, but they ended up getting bought out by another company in the end, and Juno kept saying, we're gonna offer our longtime drivers stock options. The only problem with Juno is when Juno sold out, the stock options they thought they were going to get was like worth nothing. It was like $20. It wasn't a big stock. So you got to remember, if you're buying into stock, if you're trying to get stock options, and I was listening to people on the webinar, and they were like, oh, I just want to be an influencer. And the stock options are going to be available only to drivers. Okay? And the reason why it's going to be an incentive to get drivers to, they're not going to spend a lot of money on marketing. The money that they're spending on marketing, they're going to take the $200 once it's in your market. They're going to charge you the 30th of every month. They're going to take $200 from you, but they're not going to charge you for each ride or anything. You're just going to get charged a flat fee of $200. Then, after you get charged the flat fee of $200, then you can drive all month. Now think about that. If you are a full-time driver and say you do even $500-600 a week, say $500 a week, you are spending, what did I say in my, so let's say you're making $1,000 a week. $1,000 a week, that's easier math. That's, you're spending $250 each week if Uber is taking their 25% cut. And we all know they're taking even more of a 25% cut. This company is trying to run more like an independent, more like a company that is for independent contractors, instead of treating us more like employees, but just not giving us the employee status. They're calling us employees. They want to pay us like employees. They want to take our money and only give us a certain share of it. But that's what an employer would do. They would raise the money, the cost of the donuts, but they would put the money in their pocket, and they would only give you the $10 an hour or whatever percent, and they keep changing. And this company says, they say this. They say the way they're going to make money is by charging you $200 a month on the 30th of every month. Now, they're not going to do that right away. They do that when they get launched. Then, and so what they're hoping to do right now is to get people excited about it and get drivers on board. And then if they get drivers on board, of course, say they get full-time drivers on board, because it's going to be more profitable for full-time drivers than part-time drivers. There's a lot of full-time drivers out there that are exhausted because they don't get any support. They don't get very good support. So what it's going to do is it's going to, a lot of the thing I feel like it's going to do, it may end up taking these 4 to 5 year veterans, or even the 2-year veterans like me, and it's going to say, well, that we are going to go over to Tryp. Now, one thing about Tryp is it's not going to offer surge at all. So that might be a good thing, and it might be a bad thing. They're gonna, if it doesn't offer surge, it's gonna lower the price of the surge rides. And of course, drivers are gonna be more likely to go over to Uber and Lyft that have surge, but the riders are gonna be more likely to go to Tryp, because they're going to be paying, Tryp is going to base themselves like off Uber's pricing, but they're just going to price just a tad bit lower than Uber. So all the riders are going to be incentivized to ride with Tryp because it's going to be just a little bit cheaper. But then we are going to be incentivized to drive for Uber or for Tryp because we're going to get all of the fares. We're not going to get part of the fares. The only way this may not work is if there's not a lot of Tryp passengers. So I imagine that once Tryp eventually gets started, and once they get going, they're going to, a lot of the long-term drivers, of course, are going to be promoting Tryp to the passengers, so we can get more passengers. And every time, and what they're going to do as part of the multi-level marketing is every passenger that you refer, every time, hey, Dave Cahoon, I'm afraid Tryp might be like a Go Jane app, and like it was in Cali. Yes, the problem with Go Jane was because you cannot cut off half of your population of riders and say, oh, we're going to make it. Go Jane was only taking women, and that was a big hardship on Go Jane, because you need to be able to get as many people as you possibly can, and the whole idea, I understand what they were trying to do, but it didn't work out. And if you guys realize this, right now, Uber and Lyft's business model are failing. I personally believe that because they have to keep cutting into the drivers, and I really believe eventually we are going to have to be considered employees, and their business model is not going to work. Or they're going to have to they're going to have to turn some around because they're not at all profitable. But if you guys know anything, the people I just saw in the news, Connecticut is rising up. It's getting in little places too. Everybody is protesting, not just here in Chicago, not just in New York, not just in San Francisco. They're protesting everywhere. So the drivers, especially the long-term drivers, are angry. They're angry because they keep cutting and cutting into the drivers, but they don't take any more from the passengers. So people are upset. So this trip could potentially turn them on their side by offering the passengers a cheaper rate, which they want, but also offering drivers, if, like, for instance, if the drivers just pay the $200 a month, which could be nothing if you're making like $1,000 a week, you pay your $200 by the 30th of every month, and then you're free and clear all month to make as much money as you possibly want. So they're not going to offer like a bunch of incentives like free gas and stuff like that. But they are, when I was listening in, they were like offering if you get like 5,000 drivers, you get a free vacation. Well, that's kind of hard for the, and I was listening to them, and some of the stuff sounds really wonderful, that they're going to offer us free vacations anywhere or something like that. But at the same time, this is just an idea, and they're trying to get people excited about it. So what they're trying to do right now, the only thing they're taking money for, they're not taking money from drivers. You can sign up as a driver, but they're not going to start taking that $200 a month until it rolls into your market. And the places I hear that they're having the easiest time getting started one of them is Las Vegas, but they are going to shoot for Chicago, and they're trying in they have a whole list on their website of different places. I couldn't memorize them all. But the whole idea that we will get paid 100% of the fare is an incentive. Now, they are going to be taking a booking fee, $1.99, a booking fee. Now, this is a lot cheaper than Uber's booking fee, and this is also going to be an incentive to the riders. Sometimes the riders pay up to $3 a booking fee on UberX, and even more for Uber Select and XL and all that. So what they're going to be doing is they are going to make less of a booking fee, but they're also going to be giving the person that referred that particular rider, say Jane rides, they're going to be taking out of that booking fee, they're going to automatically give it back to the referrer, and they're going to give that back to the referrer for the entire life of the rider riding. Now, this is actually is a good trick in the sense that if you say you refer 5,000 riders, you're not going to, but say you do, you refer 5,000 people, and then one day your drivers are no longer driving because of the automated cars. But Tryp has automated cars, and they're continuing to use the app through Tryp. you're still making money with them writing in the booking, getting the booking fee because you referred them. So you still make the 40 cents each time each person takes a ride. So that is the whole idea. And the more riders and the more drivers, so they don't have tons of capital to put up billboards, and hopefully they do some advertising. But the whole idea is they're getting everybody psyched up and excited about all this, and they're talking about it, and but the problem is they haven't even. They're still working on getting licensing. Apparently, they just got licensing in Las Vegas and Ohio. But they have to come up with insurance. They have to come up with an app. They don't have. It's all like a wish right now. But the whole idea is that eventually they're going to be. They think they're going to be a ride-sharing company. Now, the way you can get into doing the multi-level marketing is you can go to their website and sign up as an influencer. If you sign up as an influencer, that is $149. They take that out now, and that goes towards getting the app going, licensing, getting paying insurance, etc. Okay, to get things going. And then once it rolls in your market, of course, you're going to give them a bank account, and they're going to automatically, on the end of the month, they're going to take $200 on the 30th of every month. So and then hopefully you'll do at least enough money to pay for that $200 a month. Now, they are also incentivizing people that drive, because if you are a driver and you have to be a driver and an influencer, you have to be a driver for at least 18 months, and each month you have to do at least 20 trips. And they don't have the rule that you can't bring your grandma. So if you have your grandma start an app and she rides around with you, $20 trips, down to the grocery store, you're golden. Okay, then you can make that 20 trips a month, and then you can get after 18 months you can get stock options. Now, I don't know if the stock options are going to be any good, and we don't even know if the company is going to make it. But what we do know is the only thing that you would have to do right now, or sometimes in the future, is maybe if you want to become an influencer, and I haven't even done it, you can invest $150. And I'm thinking about this. I've been doing research over it, and I would think if I wanted to actually get into a company and try to invest in a business, I'm thinking maybe it might be a good idea. Now, when you invest that $150, that's not a lot of money. Now, I've had people on YouTube try to sell me how-to videos, and that was like $500-600. So I don't know. Dave the Uber Save is at least waiting until the app is out, at least. Okay, yeah, I think that is a good idea. I think that is a good idea. But my feeling is whether I can't do it now. I'm going to do it when it's affordable to me. Okay, and I am not a pushy person. I'm just going to talk about Tryp, just like Dave. I like what his plan is. I will talk about Tryp to my passengers and everything, because it'll make things a lot easier for us if we have at least a company that is at least listening to us. So like I wanted to tell you, so you are not going to be able to go to an Uber hub, but they are going to hire American native speaking people. And you're not going to talk to computers. They are going to have a call center where you can talk to somebody on a phone call. That is what your $1.99 per trip is. Actually, they're going to get $1.50 per trip, and they're going to get your $200 membership. That's how they're going to make their money. Okay? And so a lot of people are like gung-ho, they're coming on, they're spamming people. I was watching Dave the Uber Slave, he was talking about it, but people were coming on trying to put a bunch of comments on his channel about, try Tryp. And they put their own link on there. And I'm going to tell you, if you do that on my channel, I will gladly boot you. Because Dave Calhoun, negative comments. Well, I don't mind people saying, I don't particularly like it. I don't mind that. Everybody can have their opinion. But I don't want people coming on my channel spamming, And if you want to go in somebody else's group and if they allow, do it in their group on Facebook or whatever. But please do not come on my channel and while I'm talking. And I did not like that about Dave. It wasn't Dave doing it. It was some guy came on Dave's channel and was trying to put his link out there, and it was automatically booting it off. So, just so you know, right now I'm at IHOP in Boys Town, and I just had the green pancakes. The Grinch pancakes, they were freaking amazing. So, Dave Calhoun says, this is what we were doing to Dave, the Uber slave. They kept putting negative garbage. Shell says, showing support. Hey, Shell, thank you. I don't get to get over your channel a lot because I am not an early riser. I am not. I'm like, I love you, but I am not an early riser, so I don't get over to your channel a lot. But when I do make sure I watch watch a bunch of your stuff. Like today I slept till noon, So I don't know what you guys think. What if you think this is a scam? I see, just like there are companies that are functioning like Mary Kay, Amway, that are like they are functioning with their multi-level marketing. The problem with it is there are a lot of people that get, like, I've had Amway people like try and talk me into Amway, and I don't buy Amway. Got a question for you guys. Want to run a test on Uber, but need help. Okay, you want to run a test on Uber. What is that question? What do you need? I think when this launches, there's going to be a lot of people that go over to Tryp, but I don't think we're going to instantly have a whole bunch of customers. And I did look into it, and they said they're not going to give the first month for free, so that until we build up customers. So but of course, they're a new company. They're going to need the money to get things going. So. But if you refer 3 people, then you can get your month free. So if you keep referring 3 people, then you can get your month free. So every driver you sign up, if you sign up 3 drivers, you're golden for that month. So that is why everybody is trying to get everybody else in on it. So this is not going to be something for drivers that are not serious. And it's really going to, like on New Year's Eve, it's going to be really hard on New Year's Eve. Put the destination mode on at 5 p.m. and see if it allows you. I have tried numerous times, and it won't. At times do you think Uber is trying to keep you out there for rides? Okay, yes. This is nothing new, Dave. Uber has been doing this. It's not just at 5, it does it at midnight too. There's certain times during the day that Uber is not even going to let you put your destination filter on, even though they give you 2 destination filters. What they're trying to do is they're trying to control you and make you do what they want. And that is not an independent contractor, that is an employer. So, and not that I want to be an employer. The problem is Uber, and this is why drivers are getting more and more upset, because it used to be that we actually were independent contractors. But when Uber tried to, Dave said, I effing knew it. Yes, and I feel the same. Yes, it used to be we were independent contractors, but now that Uber is taking all their fair share, taking tons extra, and they're trying to control us, and they're trying to do this or that. And the only thing that they are not doing is they're not making us pick hours. Okay? So because they're not making us pick certain hours, so they can be considered independent contractors, then, and they're calling it a free market, but even though they're not having us pick hours and they're giving us freedom, they still treat us like crap. And it's not, and they treat us like employees, as if we were working at the crappiest fast food restaurant. Now everybody says, oh, Mandy, if you don't like it, why don't you leave? I got stuck out there for 3 hours. All right, listen, this is what you do. I do not go home at those busy hours. Okay, I will go, but if you are done, you can just deadhead home. You can go home. I do it because sometimes I want to go home, and I want to go home now. I'm tired. And that is sad, but you can also, if you have the Lyft app, that's why it's good to have two. If you have the Lyft app, you can do it. So the whole idea about this trip is, I don't know, Juno started out in like one area. I think it was maybe a few areas, but it ended up getting sold eventually. Okay? And the whole idea is, I got that to come on now. Oh, I got that. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah, I should know that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that like you weren't smart enough. Yeah. So I don't know. The whole thing is, Juno, some of these companies have worked, like they still are doing Cutco, but people are, Dave says, no, it's okay. So they're still doing these companies like Cutco, but the problem is the multi-level marketing is something that turns people off. If you think about it, though, we do the referral system in Uber and Lyft, and everybody, and it seems to be pretty successful. But Uber and Lyft send a large amount of money at marketing too, and they're everywhere. We had our Christmas party in there, and I said, who forgot to bring the rotten tomatoes, because they were on the TV. And that is why Uber is so super successful. Now hopefully what will happen, and this is what happened with Juno got off the ground, and eventually they did have somebody invest in them, and so hopefully that will happen after, because it would be a real disturber if Tryp comes on and they take a large portion of the drivers and they start taking a large portion of the passengers too. You got to remember, people are used to Uber or Lyft though. They don't like moving out of familiarity. So they're used to just turning on their app and it's 5 minutes away. They'll get picked up. And the same with Uber. I picked up somebody, or with Lyft. I picked up somebody in a Skokie, which is is higher up in Chicago, farther north in Chicago. And the girl said that she just moved from regular Chicago to Skokie, and she was upset that she had to wait 15 minutes just to be able to get a ride to go to work. We get used to it. The people used to be upset that they had to wait 45 minutes to 2 hours to get their dang taxi. And that's part of the reason why Uber and Lyft have been able to get their foothold, is because they have been able to get a cheaper ride, plus they have been able to get the riders there quickly. So it's going to be a challenge for Tryp to get drivers there quickly to pick up the riders. If it takes an hour to pick up the riders, then it's going to be harder. Now, Tryp does plan on eventually doing pool and express pool, etc. But remember, we would be getting all of the fare. They're doing that to incentivize for to get more riders. If people are getting cheaper rides, they're going to want to hop in and get in on the action. So, does anybody have any questions? I've been doing a lot of research on this. A lot of people, I hope, let me see if I got everything. I think it is easy to get drivers here in California for Tryp. I think we're going to have, the thing is getting the drivers, like we may get quite a few in the bigger markets. Okay, I think it's going to be more successful if it comes here to Chicago. But if it goes, I heard somebody say, well, if it goes to Jackson, Florida, or if it went to Jackson, Michigan, it wouldn't do as well. Because the places, even like when I did my Uber Eats in my small town in Muskegon, Michigan, I turned on my app and I got one call maybe every hour. It wasn't very much, and that was during busy hours. Like 5:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock. I still wasn't getting very many calls. And that is going to be the ugly part, is in the beginning, people are going to sign up and they're going to be like, oh no, there's not a lot of drivers. But I believe it may take effect in Vegas first. Because and if you want more information, if you're interested in it, they did just come out with a website. Of course, they're trying to promise you the world, but I listened to I kept driving riders and I would listen to parts where they're like, oh, we're going to give you a vacation if you get 5,000 drivers and you get a new car, a new Tesla. You got to go to like Chicago, New York, California, the big cities that use Uber, the big cities like Uber and Lyft. Yes. And I am hoping that they do not do unfair deactivations. I really hope, because nowadays, if you get deactivated, you just email somebody. And you might get a response, you might not, and that doesn't mean you're going to actually get reactivated. And the only recourse you really have is going to arbitration. Sometimes they don't even look at your dash cams. So, and everybody says, make sure you get a dash cam, but sometimes they don't even consider your dash cam. I mean, ask Ed the Savage Scientist. They didn't even look at his dash cam. footage. So, it sucks. It really does, the way things are going right now. So, um, it says Dustin asked him, yes. Well, he said he got recorded over his Nicholas Wincoop. As a Lyft driver, it is more appropriate to say Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas. Well, I say Happy Holidays. I do ask people, how are you doing for your Christmas? And then and I did get somebody that I suspected was Jewish in my car, and she said, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. So I would personally just say Happy Holidays. That way you're covering your butt. You're covering the one, what is it? The one, there's one in Africa or something. There's one, I can't remember the name of it, but there's also Hanukkah and Christmas and everything. Wait until the customer says it. Wait until the customer says it to you. I do that and tell them, say to you, and thank you. Kevin the Afterpreneur says differently. What does Kevin the Afterpreneur say? I don't know if I have actually said, oh, Merry Christmas. I do ask him, oh, this is what I do. I of course I wear my hat, my Santa hat. And I'm gonna go get the blinking lights. I just have these beads right now, but I'm gonna get the ones around my neck that blink, and maybe I'll do that in my next live. But the whole thing is you can still be festive without supporting particularly Hanukkah or Christmas. You don't. It's not. Some people get offended if you say Merry Christmas and you don't say Happy Hanukkah and all the other things. He says Merry Christmas is better to say, but I had a writer that just stated to me Happy Holidays. I would say Happy Holidays. And there are people that, I don't know why, get upset because you don't say Christmas. You don't say the word Christmas has Christ in it, and so you're not talking about Jesus, etc., etc. Well, if they say Merry Christmas, maybe I'll say Merry Christmas. If they say Happy Holiday, you know what I mean? I personally would say, Happy Holidays, but, on Christmas, by the way, if you guys don't know how Christmas goes, do y'all know how Christmas is gonna be? It is super dead. It is. Christmas Day, you might as well just stay home with your family. It was dead Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. But right now, I have been doing pretty good because everybody is going to Christmas parties. I wait until they say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. I say thank you and same to you. And sorry, this thing will same to you. It is safer that way. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Thank you and same to you. Yeah. You can like a lot of times I end up. So do you have your presents? I'll ask customers. Have you picked out your presents? Do you have all your presents? I think that I'm pretty sure. I'm not Jewish, but I live. Nicholas Wincoop says, Happy Holidays! Happy Holidays to you! And to all, a good night! Yeah, I just say, whatever they say. A lot of times I just say, well, it's been nice meeting you. Enjoy your evening. I don't even, say happy. Nick, thanks and same to you, says David. Yes. So can you guys give me a thumbs up? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. So I thought, I thought, did you guys have any questions about Tryp? I know Dave has already been in a lot. Just so you guys, if you guys want to know, the CEO's name is of thanks to all drivers, says Nicholas Wincoop. Yeah, thanks to all drivers. Turn off and make some money. Yeah, turn off and go make some money. I will in just a minute. So the CEO of Tryp, just so I can tell you, his name is Robert McNulty. And you can Google him. It tells about him. And he had shopping.com and he sold it for quite a bit of money. I don't remember the price. I didn't write it down. But he had a couple other things business-wise that he did. And so this is his idea. He thinks that if we can, if he, according to the Aptpreneur and Dave the Uber Slave, he did know quite a bit about the company. Now, Dave the Uber Slave said he didn't feel like they really had a solid business model, that a lot of the things they were kind of wishy-washy about. And I think part of the reason is they probably are waiting for funding, and the funding is going to come through people that decide to be influencers. And if you sign up now, you're going to be higher up in the influencer chain, blah, 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 and you're going to make the pyramid money. I'm just going to sign up people and sign up one person, or sign up myself. And I'll refer my family as passengers. Rideshare driver Dustin thinks it's a scam. Rideshare driver Dustin also, I love rideshare driver Dustin. You know he. I think the professor, a rideshare professor. I think I'm not to be sure, but I think he said that he didn't feel right about it. A lot of people don't feel right about multi-level marketing, and so I'm not saying I don't know if it's going to be super duper successful. I personally think it may do well in large markets. But I do remember when I was in high school, I had people trying to sit down with me and sell me Amway products and get me into the Amway company. And as you know, I am not in the Amway company. Am I going to try this? I figure $150, I'm going to try it out. Who knows? And if I sign up all my family as passengers and they use the Tryp app, we'll see. Maybe for the rest of their life, they will make me money. I don't know. But you know, I can talk about it to people, but really, it's going to be. And they haven't even rolled out with an app yet. They're still working on that. They're working on the app. They just rolled out with a website, you know, and they said they were launching. I saw one say they were launching in October. They said they were launching in November, and here it's December, and they're saying they're launching in January. Now, listen, here's the thing. Of course, they're going to say that, and they're going to get everybody excited because they're trying to generate funds so they can get this stuff done. And I'm sure they're not like everybody lining each other's pockets yet. They're trying to just get things going right now. Right now, they need the money to get the app going. Now, if that means that I put $150 in to help out a company, you know, then yeah, okay, I'll try that. It's only $150. That's my thought. If I lose $150, I could lose $150 in regular stock. You know, in Bitcoin, I'm sure there's plenty of people that have lost. I've known people that have lost thousands of dollars in Bitcoin. Okay, so you know, this is only losing. I knew a guy that took his life savings. I saw it. He went on YouTube, took his life savings and bought Bitcoin, and then it dropped drastically, and you know, he lost all his money or something like that. And I was like, well, he bought into the one that was a scam. There was one that was like a scam that people were doing, and people knew it was a scam. So, but they weren't being asked to. They were being asked to invest more than just $150. So I figure I'm going to try it out. What happens? It doesn't pick up in this area. I've only lost $150. If you don't know for sure if the business is going to make it. You don't. So, but if it does make it, I will be happy. That will be nice. So I'm not going to run out there right now and do it, but we'll see. What do you guys have to say? What was your longest ride? I drove 76 miles once. 1 hour and 40 minutes with Lyft. I made $73. My longest ride was a $250 ride. It was back when we were actually getting decent money. I drove to Champaign, and it was a 2 or 3 hour ride. I think 2 or 3 hour ride, and then 2 or 3 hours back. And it was definitely more than 76. That's my biggest trip. I did take one to Oshkosh, and I got paid to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I got paid significantly less. I might have gotten like $150 or something like that. It was, and I was like, wait a minute, that was on Uber. I really think that the guys both people checked like how much, but see, the $300 one was a long time ago. It was like when I they paid over $300 for the trip, the one that took 2 or 2.5 hours, but I got like 250 of that. That was back when we made 25%. They took 25% and we made 75%. So it was a long time ago. Now we're only getting, pennies, so. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I have to get out driving. I'm in Boys Town, and if you know anything about Boys Town, interesting how it is different. Yes, and this is why people don't realize. 2 years ago we were getting paid a lot more than we are now. They dropped us down to 60 cents a mile, and it made them more profitable but then they made them closer to profitable, but then they keep like hemorrhaging money. So they keep taking more and more from the drivers. We need something like Tryp to roll out, and we need it to be successful. I hope it does be successful, but it is, likely that it's going to be like, not, I don't know. The Uber and Lyft are big companies, and they do lots of marketing, and Tryp is, Lyft has a rate card now. What do you mean, a rate card? I haven't done Lyft in probably 3 weeks. And that is because here's the thing. It's a good idea to have both, because guess what? When they messed up on the last number of my Social Security, I've went in there several times and changed it, and the government basically put my account, I can't cash out instantly. I have to wait and get my money once a week, and then they're going to take 25% of my pay and give it to the government, because they think that's how much the average person owes the government. So I don't use Lyft right now because they they are messing up on my social security number. So anyway, it based on minutes, miles, base rate, cancellation rate, scheduled cancel rate, and minimum rate. Yeah, it's been like that. It's basically the same in both companies. If you ask a driver, when passengers get in the car, they go, what do you like better, Uber or Lyft? And they might have a chance to say, what do you like better, Uber or Lyft or Tryp? And if you're a new driver, you might be like, oh, no, I don't want to pay the $200 a month. But if you are a full-time driver, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, my favorite one is Tryp. We'll see. You know, what happens with a lot of companies is they get greedy. So we don't know for sure if it's going to work out. It's just an idea right now. They're just trying to get people excited and generate money. We're going to give you a vacation. We're going to give you they're promising a brand new Tesla if you get like 5,000 riders or something. Lyft, I love. The driver app is more user-friendly. Less glitches than Uber. That is only because Uber just changed their app. They just changed the driver app. But we'll see. They made it. There's more in some things that are more incentive. Like Uber is letting you know, like if you're in a slow area, they'll say you can go over here and make more money. And I don't think Lyft is rolled out with that. But I do like that Lyft gives you automatically a 5-star if they don't rate you. I don't know why Uber isn't doing that. They need to do that. But Uber's probably not going to. So, okay, I am going to call. It's been 57 minutes, guys. I'm in Boys Town. I'm going to make some money. Thank you for joining the live stream. You all be safe out there. Nicholas says I always. So hustle hard, but hustle smart. And if you don't hustle smart, take your broke ass home. DriverLadyPro out. Hasta la vista, baby.